So we're just going to kind of chat for a bit about everything that you just saw. We've got the dance group up here as well as some of the crew from the video, and then we'll open it up for some questions if you guys want to chat with us as well. So for Rachel first. Yes! Yeah! What was it like explaining the project to the dancers that you wanted to bring on? And once you brought on certain dancers, what did they inspire?
Yeah, so it was really interesting. We kind of started this process and didn't have a clear storyline until later on. So I was kind of like going up to dancers being like, hey, I'm doing this project. It's kind of on human trafficking, but like, I don't exactly know what the storyline is, but here's some concepts and ideas behind what we're trying to convey. So we're trying to talk about dehumanization and what is it like. And so luckily, as like I got further and further into this project, we had a clear storyline that we built. And so then it was like I was able to kind of bring them into the whole concept that Facing Blue is based on and the whole idea behind the storyline of the video that we created, which is on our behind the scenes
Yeah, check it
YouTube video. So that was really neat. And the second part of your question was?
Oh, just once you brought on certain people, is there certain things that they inspired about the choreography? Or?
So I got to work with a lot of really great dancers through this process. There was a small group of dancers that you saw with paint on their hands, and that was a really inspiring process where we worked together. I had kind of like this core choreography that I was like, this is what I want to do and this is what I want to feel. And we had to kind of problem solve in the moment, be like, is this working, is this not? And then even having some of them bring in their ideas and be like, well, I think it's actually going to run smoother if we turn this way or if we walk around each other in this pattern instead. And so I learned a lot as a dancer, as a choreographer through this process through them. And then as well, like Breakthrough Dance Company has been a huge part of this process, and several other dancers that I brought into different scenes. And each one of them kind of bringing their own flair to the dance and the choreography, to me, just is inspiring, and it shows me like we all come from different walks of life and we don't all like dance the same way. We all kind of put our own style and flavor in it, and that really enhanced the choreography and the video and the story we told.
Okay, Alma. So Hearsay is a piece of Facing Blue, and maybe you can explain a little bit about the relationship, which came first, what stage was it at when Hearsay kind of joined?
Yeah, so when Lori approached us about the project, she wanted to make a point of using things that we were already doing or taking from some momentum from directions we were already going. And when she first talked about having some kind of song or project related to human trafficking, I was like, I don't write songs about issues. It's not what I do. I don't like talking about like specific political or social problems because it's just very easy to get overly reductive and make it sound like, oh yeah, I have like the monopoly on this topic and I know how to solve it, and you guys are all messing up on your end. So what my music prefers to focus on is like the heart. Zooming in really far on that heart and saying what's inside here. I see this problem in the world now. What do I see in myself that reflects that same vice or that same weakness or vulnerability or virtue or whatever it is. So Lori and I walked through different songs that I already had demos of. Songs that I wanted to record within the next year. And Hearsay wasn't really on the radar. But we played it last, and it stuck. And I think it stuck because it's about postmodernism, and this idea that there is no right and wrong, that we're all our own God, we're all our own judge, and who are you to say that what I'm doing is not healthy or that what I'm doing is unethical. There's a big push in culture right now to remove all judgment in the name of tolerance, which is kind of nice in some ways. Like we've grown in acceptance towards a lot of things that are good, but we've like kind of thrown the baby out with the bathwater. And human trafficking, we found to be kind of related to that because there are so many facets of it, and some of them tie into this idea of don't judge me, I'm going to do what I want. Yeah, does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Cool.
Okay, so Lori, a year ago, I don't think any of us imagine this event that we had tonight. So maybe you can tell us a little bit about the evolution of the project and how we came to the evening today.
I guess I just want to first say thank you to each and every one of you. I mean, I'm seeing all these people here that worked really hard and really. Many of them didn't get paid a cent. They really just are here out of love for doing the art and being creative together on an issue. And so thank you to all of you that worked so hard and made really cool things, really exciting. Came over on buses from Milwaukee and all kinds of stuff. So really, I did feed you good food though at the but and they stole our food tonight, so they got to bring it back, I hope. But yeah, I didn't imagine it. I was sitting really. You read the article, so I'm not going to talk too much about it. If you haven't, there's lots of information on Facing Blue about our project and how it started and whatnot. So I don't want to be redundant, but we originally didn't know what we were going to do. Really, just followed a creative process, and I think that was really the exciting part of doing that with these 3 women who are so talented. And that was really fun to do that, and one thing fit on another thing, and we kind of followed the stream, and now we're here. And so thank you for being a part of that, and thank you guys for your incredible talent. Yeah. Yeah, film crew. Wow.
Crews here.
wow.
Yay! These 4. So this is Jordan. He was the director of photography, cinematographer for the project. Did an amazing job. Explain a little bit about. We had several cameras going on. First, like just technical stuff about all the different cameras and angles that we had and how we can.
Yeah, on the technical side of things, we shot with the Blackmagic production camera and the Sony a7S II with the Atomos Inferno external recorder. Fun technical stuff.
I think we had, 3 different cameras and then also used a drone.
Yep, we had the Mavic for those church shots, and we also had DJI Ronin because there was so much dancing and choreography and movement. We really wanted to showcase that. So the Ronin allowed us to be sort of flying alongside, capturing the dance. Lens-wise, we used a lot of Rokinons and the Canon L series. Oh, and we also had a 10-foot slider that cracked my windshield when I was trying to load it into my car. It turns out I should have put it on the roof rack this time.
We got a lot of our equipment from Skunk Films. Jeff Horsley. And when I brought Jordan on, actually, I didn't realize that he had already worked on a project with Rachel. So he had some familiarity with dance videos, apparently, which was excellent. Do you work on a lot of music videos?
I do. Usually it's a lot of hip-hop, so this was a really cool project to be brought on for us, something with a message. And working with choreographers, working with all these talented people was really awesome.
Thank you. So, I want to know a little bit about some of the pieces that we saw different from Hearsay and Control specifically. How did you put that together, and how did you figure out what to focus on, I guess?
Yeah, so what Alma said about having music that she was already working on and bringing that in really resonates with us, because most of the pieces or the 2 other pieces that you saw besides Control were pieces that we already had in our repertoire, but kind of fit the overall message that was being portrayed here tonight, and so we wanted to bring those in. But Control was something that we did completely new for this night. because we, as dancers and creators in Breakthrough Dance Company, really like to explore different messages, different opportunities, different ways to inspire dance and movement. And so we took these ideas of dehumanization, manipulation of people around you, was there another? Intimidation, isolation. We kind of brainstormed a lot of these words that we associate with human trafficking and tried to create dance and movement around that. And so we formed a few different small groups, had different individuals come up with different ideas, and then pieced that together later into one more cohesive piece.
And where can we see more of you guys?
We have a Facebook page, we have Instagram, you can find us on Breakthrough Dance Company. We're a local adult dance company. We try to do a variety of styles, and we love introducing new members into our group. So if you like what you saw, then you can join us later.
Thank you. And now we'll just open it up. So if anybody has anything they want to share, or any questions for us? Yeah, right here.
Oh.
Tessa! Sink or swim. Story behind sink or swim. Oh, actually, back to Mike.
Yeah. I wrote it and then I cried a lot when I was writing it. It was just a really emotional process for me, and I was thinking about as outsiders and as people who are, generally living in Madison, middle class, we have certain privileges, and we tend to ostracize people we don't understand and kind of put them into categories. And I was thinking about how people who are taken advantage of, we really don't have any empathy for. We kind of put them in a sympathy category of that sucks, but you're weird and gross and I don't want to associate myself with you, and kind of falls into an apathy sort of thing. So yeah, that's where I was going at it from.
And she's one of our teams. We have a few teams featured, so it's kind of fun to have young people.
I have a question.
Yeah.
How did you, so I know some people up there and I'm like, wow. But anyway, how did you guys all find each other? You know what I'm saying?
You mean the people back there?
Like,
Network?
so this is a project about human trafficking. How did you come together? How did you find you?
It starts with Lori.
It all comes back to Lori.
It starts with me. Actually, the very interesting thing is these three were in the church that I attend, and they grew up in that church. I knew them from birth. So I've known them all along, and they really have done many creative things and really gone in this direction of being artists as adults. And so it just seemed logical to pull them in. And then this whole stretches to all of their networks of their people, and there's even more people who are a part of this that aren't here, that also were in there, so.
Very cool.
I have a question. So what's the story behind Facing Blue? If it was in the program, I haven't read it yet, but where does it come? Where does it come from? What's the meaning?
The name?
Yeah, the name.
Actually, my Malaysian roommate came up with the name before she moved back overseas. Yeah, we were all about a year ago on several Skype calls to just figure out what the project was going to be and what it was going to look like. And that concept of a name came up, and we were like, I don't know what to call it. But Dee, this girl who's really into branding and social media outreach, just started Googling what colors are associated with human trafficking issues. How there's pink ribbons for breast cancer? Yeah, I think it's a blue ribbon or something blue for human trafficking, so that's where it came from.
All right.
And then the facing component was not wanting to turn away, but directly approach the issue at hand, not look aside.
Yeah, cool. Thanks.
What's next?
There's action cards as you're going to go out that each of you are going to have, and we're going to suggest that you take this and you do something. You do something creative And we also have a website that you can actually submit things, and we're going to put things up and have all of our stuff be up there. So,
Facingblue.org.
yeah, facingblue.org.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Is the music available? Like, can we buy this here?
Yeah, if you go in your program, I think it's the page after the centerfold. If there's instructions on how to get the song. The video will be up there too. Yep, and I have business cards as well. And, oh, download cards you meant. Yep, some download cards outside.
So I'm curious, since 50-some T-shirts with blue handprints are in my basement, I'm kind of curious. So where did the hand and the blue? How did that evolve and become part of the choreography?
Great question.
So one concept that I was playing with when we started this project was the whole, like if I touch you, if I do something to you, if I interact with you, I leave my mark on you. And whether that's a positive mark or it's a negative mark is up to me and our interaction. And so when I was choreographing, I was like, oh, I really would love to have like the dancers put marks on each other when they dance with each other, because it's a two-way street. Like it's not just the people being trafficked, it's the like people who are trafficking as well. And so we ended up doing the blue color because of what was already discussed. And then I think that as we progressed through our creative process, the blue, like the hand printing and the hands just kind of continued to be a symbol and kind of showed that like I'm making my mark on you, you're making your mark on me.
Reunions.
For about $1,000.
Do you mean the video or the live performance?
Yeah,
Tape?
I think what we saw today, is that something, like it seems like a usable resource for lots of organizations, especially some stuff. I'm imagining you can't get elevated to the same place over and over. I'm hoping.
We are recording this.
Okay.
Yay!
How can we can find it by going back to your website?
I would say yes.
Yes.
We don't have a song plan yet, but yes.
Right, yes.
You'll be able to find it.
Everything is a creative process involved in this.
Good luck getting a deadline from an artist.
But yes, it'll be on facingblue.org, and we also have a YouTube channel which is linked to our site.
The link is right there on Facingblue.org.
And you can see all the videos that it'll be posted on.
Also, just having conversations, the little cards are going to ask you this, but, we have these partnering organizations, and there's other organizations as well, but really contacting them, go to their websites and check out what they're doing. So if you're not somebody who's going to write a song and record it and put it on our website, another way that you can really become involved is go to these partnering organizations, look at their sites, see if you might want to be involved with them. Because there are really great things. And if you don't have the time or don't feel like you want to do that, giving money always works.
Yeah, I think that's something worth mentioning is that, we're asking you to respond artistically, but we'd also love to share that. So if you could send it to us, then we can put it up on our website as well.
We have time for maybe a couple more, then
Okay.
maybe we should go. Yep.
So who are these great musicians?
Right, John Becker was on Vibes here, and he played drums. He's a elementary school teacher in Middleton, and is quite, he's a magician too, actually. And the kids love him very much. He does. Last night I played a salsa night at his school, and all the kids were dancing, and the families were dancing, and we were playing all kinds of Latin music. So that was really fun. And he's a really talented musician, all-around composer. He has his own CDs actually out in the lobby as well. So if you're interested in that, it's beautiful, beautiful compositions. The guitar player and drummer Isaac DeBruce Sloan is, where is he? Oh, right there. He note his name because you are going to hear it over and over again. He is so talented. We'll watch his career as he goes along. But he's the son of my very good friend Sally, and he played actually on a CD that we did like, I don't know, 9 years ago. He played drums on the last track when he was 5 years old. So, yeah, really, really amazingly talented, and you heard him. And he has a group called Disc. He plays with a lot of different bands around town, and he has. Do you have your CDs out there for sale? He didn't bring them, but look him up. Disc.
DISQ.
DISQ. Yeah. And let's see, Becca May Grant. Where are you, Becca? I don't know where she is. Anyhow, Becca was the music director for many, many years at Fountain of Life Church. It's a largely African-American church, and she just plays that piano like you can't believe, and is writing lots of music. She has a beautiful gospel jazz CD called, it was a live recording done in this room a few years back, and has a bunch of her original compositions. Beautiful stuff. Take home and have fun with. So those were the musicians, and then Alma, of course, she's a superstar. We love her. She's amazing.
Mike Crossley too.
And I'm so sorry. Yes, enduring, lovely Mike Crossley just knew a father. That's why we put him on that song about his baby, singing about his baby being born. And he has a lovely little son, Levi. And he and his wife do music. He does a lot of Irish music, and so he plays a ton of instruments and does them so well. And he just recently discovered his singing voice, and isn't that something, huh? Yeah. Woo.
We also had, when you came in early, there was artwork from some students at Abundant Life Christian School, and unfortunately they couldn't be here tonight because they've got another art show going on. But we're really grateful that they shared that artwork with us. We're all very impressed with it. So.
That was a long answer. Okay, one more.
Did you consider a tour?
You know, that's funny. Alma's actually thinking about writing a musical, I think. I'm not joking, but we have to find someone that will pay for that. You know,
Any patrons out there?
Yeah, do we have anybody who can write really big checks? We would love to take this on the road. Talk to me after.
Lori, what's the significance of the film?
Oh, this we were going to bring in with incense because we overlaid a burial liturgy on this program. I don't know if you noticed that, and it was just we wanted to kind of bring in incense to have that smoky, lovely kind of spiritual feeling. But you can't even light a match in this room or a candle or anything because the fire wardens will come in and fine us big dollars. So we didn't do it. But we thought we'd bring it in anyhow just to look cool. Go and tell people. Go and change the world.